Is email dead? It's got to be dead. It has to be dead, right? It's so old. Can you make money with email in 2024? The answer, yeah, you can. Today, I want to share with you my 5 reasons why that's true for me and my business and give you 6 rules or strategies that you can use in your email marketing. By the way, my name is Joe Gilder. If we haven't met yet, I've made my living online since 2009 with my business, Home Studio Corner, that I still run today. Email is at the core of that business model. That business model, I could teach you the whole model and fit it on a single sheet of paper. It divides up into 4 sections that spell out GAME, G-A-M-E. Can't explain all of that here in this video, but go check it out. Go to joegilder.biz/game. You can sign up for a free copy of that diagram plus a masterclass that teaches you all the components of that diagram. But today we're going to talk about specifically how email fits in to that diagram. So let's jump into it. I would say, some people will say, oh, email is irrelevant. Email is dead. I would say email is more relevant today than it ever has been. What do I mean by that? There's so many different apps and different places that hold people's attention. Why would I say that something so old and antiquated as email is more relevant than it's ever been? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully convince you of it by even just looking at your own life, and then talk about how we can use that to build our business and make money. Quick story in case we haven't met. I started my business, Home Studio Corner, in 2009, and I've made my living from it ever since. And the core of that is email. The only 2 constants over the last 15 years of running that business, a lot of other things have changed. 2 things that have remained the same: YouTube, email. And as much as I love YouTube, and I owe a lot to it as a platform, my business is not YouTube. I don't make my money from YouTube specifically, but YouTube is a gateway to get people into my email. So YouTube could go away tomorrow. I still have an email list. I could still launch a promotion tomorrow and make a whole bunch of money without YouTube even existing. I would just find another video platform and I'd be off to the races. It would hurt. It would sting. I would have to kind of rebuild some things, but my business would still be doing just fine. So here's a question for you. Leave a comment below and just answer the question. Do you regularly check your email? Yes or no? I'm going to imagine. Let's just go ahead and assume there's a whole bunch of yeses down there. That's part of the point, right? You may not check your Facebook. You may not check your Facebook messages. You may not even check all your text messages. You might just leave it. But email, okay, you check your text. But email is right up there, right? Email is something, I have a system where I process it every day. We'll get to that in a second. So 5 reasons why I believe email rocks and should be at the core of what you do in your business. First of all, email is one-on-one. If you send me an email, I sign up to your email list, and you send me an email that I really love and I really connect with, that one email can begin a conversation between you and me. I can go boop, boop, Command R, and I can reply to you. And then you and I can have a back and forth conversation. Now, if you've got millions of subscribers, maybe you don't have the luxury of interacting one-on-one. But for most of us with small businesses, we have the bandwidth and we're not having thousands of emails coming into our inboxes a day. So I regularly have conversations with my subscribers one-on-one. Why does that matter? You might say, well, Joe, I can have a conversation with you in a YouTube comment. You can, but 2 things about that. First of all, you got to sign in and be signed in to comment. Then if we're going to go back and forth, you've got to come back to YouTube and check your notifications, which they don't always work, and let you know a new comment is there. So you got to come back to the original place and kind of find the comment. That's not great. Secondly, it's all in public, right? It's like you and me having this conversation in front of 200,000 of our best friends. For a lot of people, that alone is enough reason for them to not leave comments. That's why if you look at a video, it may have 500,000 views. It's not going to have 500,000 comments. It's probably going to have 5,000 comments, right? Because the vast majority of people are going to consume that content. They may subscribe, they may like it, but they're very unlikely to leave a comment. So if you are someone who leaves comments, first of all, good job, you're in the minority, but that interaction, while it can be valuable, and I've had valuable interactions on things like YouTube and Twitter, I've never had the feeling of really being one-on-one with someone like I have over email. And it literally is a one-to-one communication. I'm sending you a digital letter to your digital mailbox, and then you can send one back. You can get that in different forms on different social media platforms, but it's not the same. Email is a unicorn in that aspect. All right, number 2, email has fewer distractions. First of all, there are no ads. Yes, I guess if you're on Gmail or certain platforms will have like banner ads, but specifically like you watch one of my YouTube videos, it's going to get interrupted by ads. There's going to be ads at the beginning, and there's going to be the potential to infinitely scroll inside of whatever platform I'm in, right? So if you're watching me here on YouTube, I'm here, but like right over there or right down there are a whole bunch of things vying for your attention, not to mention the ads that play during and before and after the video. So attention is kind of the lifeblood of so much that we do in business. And when you're watching my content on another platform, then I'm competing for your attention, and there are a lot of distractions there. Compare that to email. When you open up your email, you're typically in a zone to see who has sent you a message and is there anything there that is valuable for you. So even if you pull out your phone and you're scrolling through email, there's a start and an end, right? You're probably scrolling. That's about it for your emails for the day, right? Versus if I go on any social media platform, I can do this all day long, right? I'll never get to the end of it. So first of all, if I post a video and you're subscribed to me in the YouTube app, that's great. Be sure to subscribe, by the way, if you're not. But that doesn't mean you're going to see my videos, right? I might release a new video, and depending on your view behavior and when you log in and how you're scrolling, you may not see it ever. If I email you, though, you're going to see it because it's going to hit your inbox. There's way fewer things in your inbox than there are on the entirety of the internet. So email has fewer distractions and less competition for their attention. It gives you a chance to tell your story in a semi-one-on-one environment. All right, the third reason why I think email is amazing, email has longevity. Have you ever heard of someone saying, I quit email? Cold turkey, no more email from me. Yeah, there's probably a handful of people out there who perhaps have, but for the most part, you don't hear that. You'll hear people say, I quit social media, or I'm giving up social media for Lent. I'm giving up Twitter. I'm giving up TikTok. I'm giving up insert social media here. Or, a lot of people, I really need to get off of social media because there's a lot of health. There's a lot of ways that it affects your mental health and all those things. Nobody's saying that about email. Now, there may be truths to email that are similar to those over there, but because of the doom scrolling aspect of social media, it is the kind of thing that a lot of people regularly quit. So imagine that you build your business around something like Instagram, and then people decide en masse, I got to quit Instagram. It's not good for me. That sucks, right? They're gone. If that's the only way you communicate with a customer, they are no longer capable of communicating with you. By the way, fun story. I started Home Studio Corner in 2009. That was before Instagram even existed. Instagram has come into existence since my business began. So have things like Google Plus. Remember that? It was a social media platform by Google. Periscope, Meerkat. Those were live streaming platforms that I used a good amount. I think those have all gone away. Guess what's still here? Email. Right? And yes, YouTube is still here. Facebook is still here. Some of the big players are still here. But we've all probably dabbled in different social media platforms that just never really took off. They can be valuable. They serve a purpose. I like social media for the fact that it gives me access to potentially connecting with people, but I would never build my business just on that. Email is perfect for that. All right, next point. This is number 4 on our list. Put my phone down. Email is a transaction. What do I mean? If you get someone to subscribe to your email list, that's really your first sale with that customer. So if I'm over here, I did it just a few minutes ago. I said, hey, if you want to hear about my business game plan, I've created this thing. You can have it for free. Just go to joegilder.biz/game, enter your email address to get that. I am selling you on the idea of giving me your email address. There is an exchange happening. There's not money exchanged, but you are giving me access to your email so that I can then send you an email or multiple emails, and you in return are getting something that you desire, something that is worth you giving up. It's a transaction, right? And it's the first part of that whole give-ask cycle that I talk about in that game plan, by the way. We give and then we receive. We give and then we ask. I give you some free content here on YouTube. You think, wow, I like this guy. And then I ask you to sign up for my email list. Doesn't mean you're required or obligated to. Doesn't mean I expect every single person I asked to sign up, but I tend to find if I help enough people, some of them, when I ask them to sign up to my email list, will, and then that process starts over. Then I start giving value to those email subscribers and then asking some of them to buy something from me, to spend money with me, and then a percentage of those will. That's the game that we're playing here. Final piece, email requires a response. What do I mean? If I post a YouTube video, you don't have to do anything. You can see it in your feed and you can watch it, or you cannot. You don't have to do anything else with it. You can scroll right past and you're good to go. The way a lot of people handle their email, not everyone, but I'm one of them, I like to go to inbox 0. That way I make sure I don't miss anything, especially as a business owner. I don't want to miss customer requests and things like that. So between my wife and myself, we take my inbox to 0 every day. So that means if you have sent me an email, someone dealt with that, either myself or Pam, because everything has to be dealt with. I have to either choose to read it for the first part, then choose if I need to respond to it or not, or choose to delete it. I've got to do a couple of things. I have to make a response to your email. So email requires a response. Not saying it requires that they respond to you, but they've got to take an action on that email. They have to make a decision about that email. Why does that matter? Well, that's a lot more of a commitment from them versus just following you on Facebook. If you post something I don't like on Facebook, I can just scroll past and we're good to go. Yeah, I can go in and unfollow you or something like that, but if I just don't like it, I can just keep going and we're good. But in email, I'm going to have to actually delete that. Now, that may physically be about the same hand motion, right? But there's a mental piece to that. I want to respect your inbox and only bring you value, but also I'm in your inbox until you say otherwise. So I have access to your attention regularly as I send your emails, and that's pretty stinking valuable. All right, so those are the reasons why. There's many more, but those are the main reasons why I think email is such a crucial part of any online business, any business really. And now for a little bit of bonus action for you, I want to give you 6 rules of email. We'll go over these pretty quickly. Rule number 1, always have a lead magnet. Don't just have something on your website that says, hey, join my email list. Nobody wants to join an email list. I realize that seems like I'm contradicting myself, but nobody wakes up and says, boy, I can't wait to join another email list. Yes, your mom and maybe one of your friends would like to just join, but even they probably won't join unless you give them a reason to join. So what I said before, a lead magnet is your reason to join. It's something I'm giving you. It's an exchange. It's a transaction to get you into my email list. It's an ethical bribe, they call it. I am bribing you to try out my email list. You can unsubscribe at any point. So really, while it's a risk for you to sign up, it's ultimately a risk for me because I'm giving you something for free, and you may just unsubscribe as soon as you join. That's fine. That's part of doing business. But I get way more people joining my email list because I give them something in up front, versus just saying, join my email list. No one does that. So always have a lead magnet, at least one. Ideally, you've got many that you're developing and trying out to see which one works best. Your first one's probably not going to be your best one. Rule number 2, email consistently. People are afraid to email too much because I don't want people to be mad at me. Get over that. You are a business. Businesses send emails to their customers. Businesses talk to their customers. That's the way I view it. I am sending something to them that will make their lives better. And maybe I'm even offering for them to buy something that will really make their lives better. Why would I not send that? You don't have to do daily emails, although I've gone through seasons of doing daily and they can work really well. I'd recommend at least once a week. Anything less than that, they're going to forget who you are. And especially when they first sign up to your list, ideally you'll have a sequence of emails, daily emails, to kind of introduce them to you, give them some of your best content, warm them up to who you are and what you're all about. And then ongoing, you're sending those weekly emails to continue to maintain that relationship. My buddy Graham Cochran said this, and I totally resonate with this. Even if they don't read your emails, they're still seeing your name show up in their world. And that's valuable, right? People get busy. I go through phases where I'll read every email from somebody I'm subscribed to, and then I'll go a couple months without even looking at them. But just seeing that name there, even as I select them all and delete them, it sticks in my brain. Rule number 3, this connects to number 2. Unsubscribes are good. Don't worry about unsubscribes. Don't fear them to the point that you're putting out stuff that's just meh and boring. If anything, unsubscribes are a sign that you are actually doing a good job. You are honing down on who's the right person for you. So maybe you've been speaking to a big, broad audience, but you're really for this small niche of audiences. Speak to that niche, the people you can serve the best. People who come into your world and don't fall outside of that paradigm, they're not your people, let them go. That's the whole point. It's like dating. I didn't want to date a few girls just to say I dated. I was looking for my wife, right? And then once I found her, we asked the question, are we good for one another? The answer is yes, we're good to go, right? The point of them joining your email list is to see if you were a good fit. And sometimes you are, and a lot of times you aren't. And that's okay. Don't become slave to unsubscribes. You're always going to have them. They're even a good thing. Rule number 4, subject line. Subject line must always be compelling. The subject line is the headline of your email. It's the same as the title of your YouTube video. It's important. It's the thing that gets them to click on it and open it. The other thing that gets them to click on it is your name. If you've developed such goodwill with them, they won't even read the subject line. They just say, Joe sent me an email. Let's see what he has to say today. Otherwise, you've got to give them a reason to open the email. Subject lines, it's worth whatever attention you give it. Give it a little bit more and make the subject line compelling. Doesn't mean it needs to be clickbait. Doesn't mean it needs to be this hypey, all caps thing. It just needs to be compelling. It needs to evoke a little bit of curiosity, like, I wonder what they're up to today. Number 5, the content of the email must be valuable. If you're sending lazy stuff just for the sake of sending emails, you might as well not even bother. Send them value. That can be in the body of the email itself. It can be linking off to a piece of valuable content that you've created. It can be offering them something to buy. Ideally, you're doing all of these things, not just one. But the content, there has to be value there. That's what you promised. Otherwise, they're going to unsubscribe and never come back. Now, I know I said unsubscribes are good. They're not good if you're doing a bad job. But if you're doing a good job and you're creating compelling content for your audience, there will always be people who aren't for it, and that's okay too. And finally, rule number 6, there must be a call to action. Every email needs to have some action step you want them to take, and only one. Don't give them a big, long list of things to do. I don't like emails that give me 1,000 links I can click on. Occasionally, maybe, but more often than not, if I send you an email from one of my companies, it is coming to you, it's got some compelling content, it has a single thing for you to do, a single link for you to click on. Or maybe the call to action is hit reply, let me know what you think. It's okay to have some content that's just really good content with no call to action, but the whole point of the email is to deepen the relationship with the customer so that they buy from you. How are they going to buy from you? They're going to click a link in one of your emails. What's a good way to prep them to click one of the link in your emails? Always have a link in your email and practice getting them to click it. I'm not obsessed about email click-through rates and all of that. I look at it sort of, but for years, just about every email I send has some sort of call to action to it. It can be, if you like this, you're going to love this course. Click here to find out more. It can be that simple. Or it can be, this sale ends tonight at midnight. If you do not click the link below and place your order now, you're going to miss out. Click here to place your order now. It's fine, but you're giving them a specific thing to do, a specific call to action, and a reason to do it. Not the reason that it's good for you, the reason that it's good for them. All right, that wraps up my rant on email. Maybe I sound like a bit of a boomer being all in on email, but hopefully you've seen, even if you came into this thinking, no, social media is where it's at. Social media is great for attracting a crowd. Email is the place where I want to push them to. That's where I want them to be, so then I can interact with them one-on-one, even if that platform goes away. Remember what I said earlier, email has longevity more than anything else that I've used. So don't sleep on email. Make it kind of the linchpin of your business, and leave a comment below and let me know how it works out for you. All right, that's it for this video. YouTube thinks that you're going to like this video next. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. See ya.